Welcome to Your Seventh Sense, a show for mission-driven entrepreneurs to evolve into unstoppable intuitive leaders. Listen to Terry and her guests as they share stories of being powered by angels and intuition to achieve their success. Now, let's unlock the power in you with your host, Terry Wildeman.
Welcome, everyone, to the second season of Your Seventh Sense. I'm your host, Terry Wildeman, and it's thrilling to present to you upcoming episodes that are going to rock your world. We have a season full of amazing people, and our very first guest is the amazing Robert Glancy. Robert, welcome to Your Seventh Sense.
Well, thank you so much for having me here. That's just looking forward to the end. It's just there.
Well, it's great energy, and one of the things I know about my audience is they love a lot of the topics that we talk about. And as my audience know, the show is all about bringing in highly successful people who have learned to trust their intuition and use it as a guide to achieve their dreams and goals. Many people in the workplace, whether they're a leader in the workplace, a manager, whether they're whatever job they have, whether you're pushing a broom or you're very top CEO, intuition comes into play in your work. The key is to trust it and to trust intuition in a way that it's going to guide you to the next step, whether it's inventing a new way to sweep the floor or a new way to lead people that influences them to do better and create peak performance for yourself and for the people who work with you. So what we do on this show is offer insight and story to influence everyone who has been running away from the phenomenal tool of intuition and insight and instead run towards it. Today's show is called Trusting the Big Picture, and there's no one better to share this information than with Robert Glancy. So Robert, in Trusting the Big Picture, what I'd like to do is share with our folks a little bit about you because you have an amazing background. Robert is a creative visionary and a #1 international best-selling author, a spiritual teacher, co-founder of Spiral Design Studio. It's great software, folks, let me tell you. Together with the #1 international best-selling author, Lisa Winston, who will be on the show in the future here, they produced the Mindset Reset Show, an internationally syndicated television show airing on DirecTV, Comcast, and lots of others. His latest 2 books, Soul Ciphers, Decoding a Life of Hope and Happiness, and Love's Awakening, Healing the Human Spirit, A Poetic Journey, are both #1 international bestsellers. His Facebook fan page, and it's a delight going to this Facebook fan page. He shares divinely inspired thoughts and has over 750,000 followers. How cool is that, folks? He is a sought-after speaker, presenter, and guest who has been featured on national television and radio shows. He's also a featured spiritual expert, appearing with Dr. Joe Vitale, Dr. Miguel Ruiz, Brian Tracy, and Daniel Brinkley in the movie Becoming the Keys, which is released in January 2019. And as early as the age of 6, and I love this because for me it was age 8. With you it was a little bit earlier, Robert. Robert committed his life to assisting others, whether volunteering, helping them to succeed, or even just offering a friendly smile. So, Robert, welcome to the show, and I really look forward to hearing your story of how to trust the big picture, because I know that a lot of entrepreneurs and business people, they're scared to trust what they feel. They're scared to trust the insights that come to them, the visions that come, the things that they hear, what they feel, the goosebumps. They're really frightened sometimes to trust that. So my question to you is, how did you surrender to the truth of who you are and being able to really listen to those phenomenal cues that come to you?
Well, this is a new story that surfaced recently that I had surrender moment. I actually almost drowned in a swamp behind our house. I got stuck in mud. Went back. We were playing on it earlier in the day, and I didn't get a chance to jump on it because I had new shoes. So I went and got my winter boots, and I played on it alone and got stuck. And long story short, I was actually up to my chin with my head resting on the ground, knowing I only had moments to live. And I mean, I was crying, screaming, and then I just finally I let go. I just said, "All right, I know." They say your life flashes before you. I didn't have much, so it was only love, and it was like my parents, my sister, my brothers, and I'm thinking, all right. And then this little pine branch was next to me, and I just looked at all the beautiful needles on it, and this voice came in, and it said, "One more scream, right now." And I let one little tiny yell out. This little girl was in her about maybe 175 to 100 yards away. And she told her daddy that there was a cat in the woods. And he put waders on, and she begged him to go get it. She only heard the one cry.
Wow.
He found me
When was this?
at age 6 to 7, somewhere in there.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
I brought that into business. So here's the thing: when you trust your gut, and everybody has that, you get that like, oh, I should do something. And I had
Mhm.
this the other day. I was heading out to a business meeting. I actually thought it was at 9:30. It was at 9, but I trusted my gut, and I'm like, why do I want to get there so early? It was actually at 9. I got there right on time. But I grabbed this piece. We're a marketing firm, so I grabbed it on the way out. I don't know why. I just thought maybe this is part of the meeting, so I just put it on my arm, brought it in. That was what they really responded to, was that piece.
Mhm.
And them, and there were so many coincidences in the meeting about that thing. They were talking about all the art on it and how it related to their mission and what they wanted to do, and they could visually
Mhm.
see what we were going to bring to the table.
That is so cool. And I know from a marketing perspective, you are a marketing guru. I've worked with you in the past. I know what it is that you do and the phenomenal service and product that you create. So I'm sure they were wowed in every way, shape, and form. And one of the things that I know with you is that when it comes to intuition, you listen to it as much as I do. I mean, I call you Angel Man, you call me Angel Lady. Okay. We both tap into our angels in a very, very big way. That's the tagline of the show: business powered by angels and intuition. Our guides are very, very clear. When you learn to really trust how you feel and trust that gift and those tools, it really shifts perspective.
Hmm.
So, can you tell me how keeping perspective on life and listening to your intuition go hand in hand?
Yeah, it's always looking at something. There's always a silver lining. So when you pull back, it makes sense later. Sometimes when you're going through something, it doesn't make sense at the time. And my mother had cancer, and this woman who lived her entire life pretty much with a smile, and cancer took her smile.
Oh,
Well, the dementia set in a little bit, and what she lost was her short-term memory, and part of it, not all of it, but it affected it. The main thing that it affected was her memory of having cancer.
okay.
And I got to see her extend her life and live every day with a smile. And at the time when, you get this kind of news that your parents got some struggle like that, you're devastated. And it was a silver lining. So my words that I get are: we never see the great picture God paints for us because we're always standing on the canvas. You just need to trust that that image is beautiful. And when you can pull back and see the whole thing, you will see that it is a beautiful painting.
That is so cool. I love that. I could just see a tapestry on the
Hmm.
ground and you standing in it and just,
Yeah.
oh, that was just wonderful.
And what you see around you sometimes are just these dark, murky colors, and you don't really realize that when you pull back, it's like, oh, it's a Botticelli. I didn't
There you
know.
go. So what is the most impressive intuitive hit that has happened to you in business that led you to success?
Wow. The biggest one, and I was actually drawing in my notebook in college. I kept drawing spirals. I don't know why. I was obsessed with drawing spirals. I would draw triangular ones, circular ones, and I keep
Mhm.
tighter and tighter. And when I met my future wife, we started our company, Spiral Design Studio, and she named the company, and I knew immediately that was it. So that was one of the hits. The second one is that bringing this together just transformed our lives, and that was probably the most intuitive thing that started my adventure. Was as soon as she said Spiral, I was like, yes, I knew that was it.
There we go.
So we created Spiral Share, which you talked about the
Yeah.
software for, and it's launched several number one bestsellers.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
does.
social media sharing platform. So
Mhm.
I'm both halves. I've got the intuitive and I have the analytical science. So that's me.
Mhm.
I'm Mr. Logic, and then there's things that don't add up to the logic. So I just surrender to those.
Yeah. Well, you are the epitome of what I call integrating the practical, tactical, and logical with the emotional, the energetic, the intuitive, and the spiritual. You truly embody that,
Uh,
which is what I teach in my leadership courses. And that's why it's so wonderful to have you here on the show, because you're just fabulous at that. You really, really are. And when I look at the product that you created with Spiral Share and understanding the back end of it, because I tend to be techie myself, and I love looking at that back end piece that you created and how you have helped so many people become international bestsellers because of that brilliant software.
and that was an accident. So there's another one. Trust your
There you go.
gut. I was just trying to create a down and dirty page where I could put swipe copy for my book and make it easy for people to share on a dashboard that linked to Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and that you could do with one click and edit it and then post it out to your respective tribes. As soon as I presented that, my staff said, "Oh my God,
There
do you
you
know what you
go.
have here?" And then Teresa Dubois, who wrote Mass Influence,
Mhm.
uh, and how to harness like the power of influence, her comp of it, and we were on the call like 5-10 minutes later. She's like, "Oh my God, you know what you have here."
That is
So
great.
that's trusting your gut, and what it's done is allowed other people to get their beautiful work out to the world and in the hands of those that really need it.
That is really exciting. Congratulations. That is so cool. I love that story. So, can you share with our audience what is the one thing they would benefit from to trust their intuition, trust their gut, trust the messages that come to move them in the right direction?
Yeah, the first thing is really trusting in yourself, and then trusting in that you're held. And there is a bigger force at play. And when you're able to put out into the universe what you really and be clear about it, and you have to have it now in your mind. It's not something like you'd say, "I really need X. I wish this X happened." It's, I live in it that it has already happened because it has. And it's trusting those things and knowing that it's in your hands now. And a beautiful soul that I know is Valerie Shepard. She's got Living Happy to Be Me.
Yeah.
That's her number one best-selling book. And she taught me the presence of having that, being in the present mode. It has to be now. You can't say, "I'm hoping, I'm wishing."
Yeah,
It's
it's got to be now.
so
Absolutely.
trust your gut in that regard, and the other is the big picture, and it's really there. And I know firsthand because I'm a logical person who had sort of an illogical experience in paranormal type, with an angel, and I kept it a secret for
Hmm.
2012, the night my mother was going to pass away.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've had to live with, and I know that I've had to live with knowing. Let's just put it that way. So I've I've always just had no fear or doubt or worry. But it does come in. We're human. It's not like I'm infallible in that. But I have to then pull back to trust that I'm moving forward, and living your truth is really key to that.
Mhm. And let's face it, Robert, it really is hard when you have these gifts, when you hear these voices, you think you're going crazy or you have these feelings. I know for myself, it took a very, very long time to acknowledge them and to really come out of the spiritual closet in a way that so that you could do the work that you're meant to do. And as we were talking before the show, we were saying how we are both put on this planet to do specific things. Everyone is put on this planet to do specific things. And it's really up to you to choose whether or not you are going to step into your power and use every single tool that you were given at birth. And listening to those voices, listening to those intuition. A lot of that stuff is there, but it gets smacked out of us because of fear. And people really, when we do say something, they say, "Oh, that's silly," or "Don't be ridiculous." But mom, I see the angels over there. "Oh, come on, there's no such thing. Blah blah blah. You know exactly what I'm talking about with that. And so when that happens, all of that gets squashed within us. So to elevate that and get past the fear of coming out of your spiritual closet, this black box that you talk about in your book, can you share with us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's, when you look at what you have inside, and if you're raised religious, I asked myself this question one day: what do you believe in? What is your true belief? And if you came from your parents, do you not honor them by holding that belief? And if I say I saw an angel, it's in the Bible, it's in all the religions.
Yes.
And what are they saying? That that's false? Or, am I not honoring my parents by saying I believe what you taught me and entrusted in my hands, in my faith?
Mhm.
And I don't have faith because I was shown. I only have belief.
Mm.
What I witnessed, I can tell you a thousand times in a thousand Bibles. I know what I saw. I'm the most logical, analytical person on this planet, and I was shown. I never felt worthy of it. So the black box is kind of those things that you hold inside, the shame, things that you don't want others to know, and feeling those and holding on to them is like carrying weights back.
Mhm.
Or you need to let go of that in a trusting way with people around you. And if you can confide in someone, your spouse, a friend, somebody, just to talk about it, because there might be something. And you're starting to see people that have had abuse early in their childhood who are now saying that happened to me.
Right.
And when they do, they're smiling when they're sharing this because they're letting go to then say, all right, I'm going to move forward. And that's not easy. I can't say it is. One of the things that helped me was mindfulness or meditation. And those are key elements to relaxing. And we're starting to see, there's hope because there's young kids like in elementary school who are meditating and they're talking about this experience on national television saying,
They
well, I
are.
feel more relaxed and I'm less angry and I feel more connected to my friends. And I'm thinking, this sounds like adults
Mhm.
talking because they're connected.
Yes. Yeah, they really, really are. And what I love is also spirituality in the workplace is growing. When I owned my leadership school from 2001 to 2009, I was often told that meditation, mindfulness, teaching awareness, that kind of thing, I was way ahead of my time. Some folks said, "Well, you're teaching cutting edge stuff." Well, I'm cracking up. I'm like, this is no more cutting edge. It's just
Right.
just the world. And now it is so nice to see that this quote unquote cutting edge stuff is actually becoming very mainstream in corporate America and in the workplace.
Mhm.
You find meditation rooms. You find people are beginning to trust it more and more and more, and it's becoming the new language in the workplace. So it's a new shishi vocabulary, mindfulness and awareness, which is really pretty cool. So one of the things that you talk about in everything that you do is the ability to be able to decode. Can you tell me a little bit more about decoding?
Yeah, so I'm a programmer, and when you have something that's encoded, it's a cipher, and you can't really tell what's going on there. So decoding is looking inward and taking that journey to decode what's going on inside your heart, your soul, your mind, your body, your spirit. All of those things connect together. And I look at how can I improve that or figure out why I feel this way sometimes, or when I want to retreat to my ivory tower, or when I want to be
Yeah.
out there volunteering or giving back, or whatever it is that drives me. I want to understand that. And it becomes part of you have your career and your calling and merging those two together. And that's really when you can balance that. And as a martial, the importance of balance. It's how you can defeat an enemy. It's also how you can stay on top of what you're doing and not lose your footing and those things. And it also happens in life. And can't say it's always easy to balance everything, because sometimes you might not be there for your child when you had something come up, but you need to then balance it out on the other side. You can't just keep going and doing that. And that's
And
really
that's one thing I didn't mention before, by the way, folks. Robert is a fifth degree master black belt arts instructor. I mean, how cool is that? I got to second degree in Taekwondo.
nice. All right, we'll have to spar one day, I think. We'll get suited up.
Oh, yeah, right. That was in college, Robert. I mean, that was many moons ago. However, I can still break a board.
All right.
I love breaking boards. That's so much fun. So, okay, well, to get back to the decoding thing, you do have a course called 21 Days to Decoding a Masterful Life, and we will be posting that. The show will be posted on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/intuitive leadership, and look for Your Seventh Sense course or grouping that is there. And all of Robert's complete bio will be listed underneath there, along with a link to the 21 Days to Decoding a Masterful Life. You also are giving away what for us?
Some meditations that are part of my Love's Awakenings book, but that's the bonus material, and I have those as well as some music, and really it's about that mindfulness piece. So it's a guided meditation, and it's really similar to the same meditation I did when I had my divine experience. So I tried to.
Okay, and we will make sure to put that on the link underneath YouTube, and it is at signup.guidetothesoul.com. So we can find it there. signup.guidetothesoul.com. And one of the things that Robert spoke about is the emotions and the things that happen to us as we're growing up. And I would like to add that as an emotion code practitioner, those are the things that I can help people with. Clear the blocks to the success that they're looking for. Actually get in there and clear out those energy pieces that sit in our bodies and can create chaos later. So if that's something that people would like to get in touch with me to do, we can work with that also. You can join my Facebook group, Stop the Self-Sabotage and Succeed Brilliantly, where we talk about all of those things, and I do hot seats on emotion code to help clear some of the things that get in our way of success and reaching our goals. So I'm so glad that you brought that up, because our emotions really do create blocks to the success and the goals that we want, both in our business and in our lives. So we can clear out those fears in a very, very easy way once we learn the tools and techniques to be able to do that. So thank you so between all of our stuff, hey, we can get people cooking and cooking really, really well. So I want to thank you so much, Robert, for being here today on Your Seventh Sense. You are our opening show for the second season. So I'm really thrilled about that. And folks, please stay tuned, because we have some amazing, amazing guests coming up for the rest of the season. So thank you for being here today. I'm your host, Terry Wilderman, along with Robert Clancy, and to your success. Thank you so much for being here today.
Unlock the power in you and elevate your seventh sense with our intuitive leadership training programs, masterminds, VIP days, and retreats. To learn more, visit intuitiveleadership.com.